income. And fortunately, she brought the agreement that they had drafted at the court for her, in discussions, with her husband, for all the terms of the divorce. To her credit, she thought, well, maybe I should have an attorney look at this. So she did call me. I had a consultation with her. I looked at the agreement, and then I looked at the financial affidavits that are also filed, with an agreement, which kind of list each party's income, assets, debts, and expenses. And in looking at the financial affidavits, I noticed that there was nothing regarding a pension, the husband's pension, in the agreement. It was just silent as to that. So there was a mention of another retirement account that was supposed to be divided, but there was no mention of the pension at all. And there was a catch-all phrase there that, the balance of assets were to each their own, which meant that he got the entire pension, and it was a long marriage. So I questioned her about that because that was a little unusual. So long story short, she went back. She had another meeting with the court, and it was determined that they had overlooked that. So they had to add that back in. And then before the judge, it was presented to the judge, and before the judge signed it, she indeed got half the pension. Now, that would have been a huge problem if she had signed that and left, and it had been made in order of court. That's a property judgment, which is generally non-modifiable. You can't go back and change that. You can't say, oops, I made a mistake. There are procedures to go back in and try to change it, but it would have been a real uphill battle, and it would have been expensive for her to hire an attorney and try to do that. For quite a few years now, Connecticut has allowed something called partial representation or limited scope representation. We call it a la carte representation. So you can hire an attorney if you can't afford it for your whole case. You can hire an attorney for bits and pieces of your cases where you think you might need the most help. We've always done free phone consultations. We've always wanted to make ourselves available for people just to get procedural information, price information, and just to, determine whether or not they'd even think about using us or want to use us.